Revenge Served Cold, Story 5.
I left my cheating husband when the money dried up. I have been told I'm heartless and a gold digger for doing this. But frankly, I'm happy that I finally get to be heartless. Brian and I had been married for close to 3 decades. I was the typical starter wife. I was the wife who supported him and maintained our home and children while he climbed the corporate ladder. I wanted to go back to working when he first got paid enough for us to hire a nanny for our children, but he vetoed it, saying there was no need for both parents to work when he was earning twice for us anyway. It seemed reasonable, but I learned eventually that it was because it's easier to hide his affairs if I wasn't out and about like him. With the success of his career came the improvement of our lifestyle. We moved from a humble starter home to a bigger home in a gated community. Our children went to private schools and I had cleaners at least once a week at home. Everything seemed great except for the fact that Brian wasn't the most discreet degenerate out there. Even during family vacations, he would flirt with beautiful young women who would give him the time of day. And a rich man like him attracted a lot of beautiful young things, even with his wife and children in the vicinity. The first time he did it, I couldn't believe he had the audacity. If I didn't know any better, I would have thought he was drunk. We fought that night. The next morning, he gave me a pearl necklace, not as an apology, but as a bribe. Not soon after, I also found out that he wasn't just flirting with women, he was already sleeping with them. I threatened to divorce him, but he told me, very matter-of-factly, that he would fight me in court for full custody of our children and that would leave me with nothing. It would devastate me financially, especially since I had not worked for years and had no income of my own. He also said that while I was angry about his infidelity, he still loved me and he would continue to go home to me. He would keep me in that lifestyle if I would just accept him as he was. By the way he spoke, you would think that he was talking about him having a slightly annoying habit that I should just accept, not as marriage ending as infidelity. I knew the right answer should be to hand him divorce papers right then and there, but the practical side of me won. It would financially and emotionally devastate me to fight him in court, and it's not a question if he would prolong the case because he really would. Our children would also have a hard time being uprooted from a private school to public. And if I was honest with myself, I didn't have the energy to fight him. At that point, I no longer loved him, but I also had no dreams of my own. I wouldn't be able to survive entering the workforce anymore. Every time I came to his workplace, the women gave me pitying looks. They all knew. It was an open secret that my husband slept with many of the staff there. It dawned on me that while I wasn't brave enough to leave Brian, I didn't also want my image tarnished. I was then determined to change how they viewed me. I befriended his assistants and earned their loyalty. It wasn't easy, but when you're a rich woman, you could pay for allegiance. They would then report to me the interns and staff who had been hooking with my husband. And they were a lot of them. It's almost a revolving door of mistresses. One of them, a wannabe social media influencer, even posted photos of them together. Brian's face was clear in many of them. It's obvious he wasn't hiding. She kept telling people that she snagged a rich older man. I saw the posts because my eldest daughter told me. My children didn't fully understand why I stayed with their father, and that created a bit of resentment at me. How could I explain to my own children that I just didn't care about their father to be jealous anymore? I had no respect for Brian anymore. But I could tolerate smiling and being with him because it afforded me the lifestyle I was in. That made me a gold digger, no better than the trollops that he slept with and financed. I didn't say I was a good person. It just so happened that I was wearing his ring. But wealth and power are not permanent, and my husband found this out when he was made redundant in the company. Having a very high position didn't save him from redundancy. He got a high severance package, but with private school fees, country club fees, etc., money was quickly draining. We had to move to a more modest place and sell 2 of our vehicles. He was able to find another job, but considerably lower paying than his previous. He didn't want to take it at first, thinking it was beneath him, but even our investment property wasn't giving the returns that we expected when we first got it. He's also nearing retirement age, so fewer companies were willing to hire him. We weren't quite poor, but we went from upper class to middle class fast. He jokingly told me one day that he was finally faithful to me. It was done in a jest, but I knew it was the truth. It took him a serious humbling down before he stopped fucking other women. And it's not by his own choice either. It's because at his age and lack of looks, he knew he wouldn't attract any women not looking for gold anymore. The next day I filed for divorce. The move shocked not only Brian, but also everyone. They called me all sort of names, and I agreed with all of them. Even my children were in disbelief that I could do that to their father. So I asked them that they already thought so little of me when I stayed with him through his infidelity because they knew it was because of his money. But now that I was leaving him when the money dried up, they still thought I was worse than their father. Their father and I had an agreement, he would keep me in the lifestyle that I had become used to if I turned a blind eye to his many transgressions. he couldn't keep me in that lifestyle anymore, so why should I stay with him any longer? I had become the villain in everyone's eyes, but the truth was I would have stayed with him without the money if I still at least had any respect for him. Never mind love him, I didn't for a long time anymore, but without respect, I could barely tolerate his presence. And I'm done tolerating him.
If you liked this story, please give it a like. Help the channel out by sharing the video and following us for more everyday people stories. Check out past videos too while you're here. Thank you very much.